The Mahabharata of Krishna-Dwaipayana Vyasa. Translated into English prose from the original Sanskrit text by Pratap Chandra Roy C.I.E. This free ebook has been downloaded from holybooks.com. Virata Parva. Section 69, Virata Parva continued. Utter said, "The kin have not been recovered by me, nor have the foe been vanquished by me. All that hath been accomplished by the son of a deity, capable of striking like a thunderbolt. That youth of celestial origin, beholding me running away in fear, stopped me and himself mounted on my car. It was by him that the kin have been recovered and the Kauravas vanquished. The deed, O father, is that hero's and not mine. It was he that repulsed with arrows Kripa and Drona's son of powerful energy, and the Suta's son and Bhishma. That mighty hero then spoke unto the affrighted Prince Duryodhana, who was running away like the leader of a herd of elephants, these words: O Prince of the Kuru race, I do not see that thou art safe by any means even at Hastinapura. Protect thy life by putting forth thy might. Thou shalt not escape me by flight. Therefore make up thy mind for fight. If victorious, the sovereignty of the earth will be thine, or if slain, heaven itself will be thine." Thus addressed, King Duryodhana, that tiger among men, surrounded by his counsellors, sighing on his car like a snake, turned back, showered arrows endued with the speed and force of thunderbolts. Beholding all this, venerable sire, my thighs began to quake. Then that celestial youth pierced with his arrows the Kuru army, consisting of leonine warriors. And having pierced and afflicted that crowd of cars, that youth, stout as the lion, laughed at them and robbed them of their clothes and attires. Indeed, the 6 great car warriors of the Kurus were vanquished by that hero alone, even like herds of animals ranging in the forest by a single tiger in rage. Virata said, "Where is that mighty armed and famous youth of celestial origin, that hero who recovered in battle my wealth that had been seized by the Kurus? I am anxious to behold and worship that mighty warrior of celestial origin who hath saved thee and my kin also." Utter replied, "That mighty son of a deity disappeared there and then. I think, however, that he will show himself either tomorrow or the day after." Vaisampayana continued, "Virata, that owner of a large army, remained ignorant of the son of Pandu, who was thus described unto him by Utter, and who was living in the palace in disguise. And permitted by the high-souled Virata, Pratap presented with his own hands the garments he had brought unto Virata's daughter. And the beautiful Utter, obtaining those new and costly clothes of divers kinds, became highly glad along with the son of the Matsya king." Thus ends the 69th section in the Virata Parva of the Virata Parva. Section 70, Vaivahika Parva. Vaisampayana said, "Then on the 3rd day, attired in white robes after a bath and decked in ornaments of all kinds, those great car warriors, the 5 Pandava brothers, having accomplished their vow and with Yudhishthira at their head, looked resplendent as they entered the palace gate like 5 intoxicated elephants. And having entered the council hall of Virata, they took their seats on the thrones reserved for kings, and shone brilliantly like fires on the sacrificial altar. And after the Pandavas had taken their seats, Virata, that lord of earth, came therefore holding his council and discharging other royal offices. And beholding the illustrious Pandavas blazing like fires, the king reflected for a moment. And then, filled with wrath, the Matsya king spoke unto Kanka, seated there like a celestial and looking like the lord of celestials, surrounded by the Maruths. And he said, 'A player at dice thou wert employed by me as a courtier. How couldst thou occupy the royal seat thus attired in handsome robes and ornaments?' Vaisampayana continued, hearing these words of Virata, O king, and desirous of jesting with him, Arjuna smilingly said in reply, 'This person, O king, deserveth to occupy the same seat with Indra himself. Devoted to the Brahmanas, acquainted with the Veds, indifferent to luxury and carnal enjoyments, habitually performing sacrifices, steady in wars, this one indeed is the very embodiment of virtue. The foremost of all persons endued with energy and superior to every body on earth in intelligence, devoted to asceticism, he is conversant with various weapons. No other person among the mobile and immobile creatures of the three worlds possesseth, or will ever possess such knowledge of weapons. And there is none even amongst the gods, or asuras, or men, or rakshasas, or gandharvas, or yaksha chiefs, or kinnaras or mighty uragas, who is like him. Endued with great foresight and energy, beloved by the citizens and inhabitants of the provinces, he is the mightiest of warriors amongst the sons of Pandu. A performer of sacrifices, devoted to morality and of subdued passions, like unto a great rishi, this royal sage is celebrated over all the worlds. Possessed of great strength and great intelligence, able and truthful, he hath all his senses under complete control. Equal unto Indra in wealth and Kuvara in hoarding, he is the protector of the worlds like unto Manu himself of mighty prowess. Endued with great might, he is even such. Kind unto all creatures he is no other than the bull of the Kuru race, King Yudhishthira the just. The achievements of this king resemble the sun himself of blazing effulgence. And his fame hath travelled in all directions like the rays of that luminary. And like the rays following the risen sun of blazing effulgence, 10,000 swift elephants followed him, O king, when he dwelt among the Kurus. And O king, 30,000 cars decked in gold and drawn by the best steeds, also used to follow him then. And full 800 bards adorned with earrings set with shining gems and accompanied by minstrels, recited his praises in those days, like the rishis adoring Indra. And O king, the Kauravas and other lords of earth always waited upon him like slaves, as the celestials upon Kuvara. This eminent king, resembling the bright red sun, made all lords of earth pay tribute unto him like persons of the agricultural class. And 88,000 of high-souled Snatakas depended for their subsistence upon this king practicing excellent vows. This illustrious lord protected the aged and the helpless, the maimed and the blind, as his sons, and he ruled over his subjects virtuously. Steady in morality and self-control, capable of restraining his anger, bountiful, devoted to the Brahmanas and truthful, this one is the son of Pandu. The prosperity and prowess of this one afflicts King Suyodhana with his followers including Karna and Suvala's son. And O Lord of men, the virtues of this one are incapable of being enumerated. This son of Pandu is devoted to morality and always abstains from injury. Possessed of such attributes, doth not this bull among kings, this son of Pandu deserve, O monarch, to occupy a royal seat? Thus ends the 70th section of the Vaivahika Parva of the Virata Parva. Section 71, Vaivahika Parva continued. Virata said, if this one indeed be the Kuru king Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, which amongst these is his brother Arjuna and which the mighty Bhima? Which of these is Nakula and which Sahadeva, and where is the celebrated Draupadi? After their defeat at Dice, the sons of Pritha have not been heard of by anyone. Arjuna said, even this one, O king, who is called Vallava and is thy cook, is that Bhima of mighty arms and terrible prowess and furious impetus. It was he who slew the furious Rakshasas on the mountains of Gandhamadana and procured for Krishna celestial flowers of great fragrance. Even he is that Gandharva who slew the Kichheka of wicked soul, and it was he who killed tigers and bears and boars in the inner apartment of thy palace. He who had been the keeper of thy horse is that slayer of foes called Nakula, and this one is Sahadeva, the keeper of thy kin. Both these sons of Madri are great warriors, possessed of great fame and beauty of person. These two bulls of the Bharata race, attired in handsome robes and decked in excellent ornaments, are a match for 1,000 great warriors. And even this lady of eyes like lotus petals and slender waist and sweet smiles is Drupada's daughter, thy wife Sirindri, for whose sake, O king, the Kichhekas were slain. I am, O king, Arjuna, who it is evident, thou hast heard, is that son of Pritha, who is Bhima's junior and the senior of the twins. We have, O king, happily passed in thy abode the period of non-discovery, like infants in the womb. Vaisampayana continued, after Arjuna had pointed out those heroes, the 5 Pandavas, the son of Virata then spoke of Arjuna's prowess. And Uddhav once again identified the sons of Pritha. And the prince said, that one whose complexion is bright like that of pure gold, who is stout like a full-grown lion, whose nose is so prominent, whose eyes are large and expansive, and whose face is broad and of coppery hue, is the king of the Kurus. And behold, that one whose tread is like that of an infuriate elephant, whose complexion is like that of heated gold, whose shoulders are broad and expanded, and whose arms are long and thick, is Vrikodara. And he who stands by his side, that youth of darkish hue, who is like unto a leader of a herd of elephants, whose shoulders are broad like those of a lion, whose tread is like that of a mighty elephant, and whose eyes are large and expansive like lotus leaves, is Arjuna, that foremost of bowmen. And lo, close to the king are those foremost of men, the twins, like unto Vishnu and Indra, and who have no equals, in the world of men, in beauty, might, and behavior. And close by them, behold, standeth Krishna, beautiful as gold, like unto the very embodiment of light, possessing the complexion of the blue lotus, like unto a celestial damsel, and resembling the living embodiment of Lakshmi herself. Vaisampayana continued, then Virata's son began to describe the prowess of Arjuna, saying, even this one is he that slew the foe, like unto a lion devastating a flock of deer. Even he ranged through crowds of hostile cars, slaying their best of warriors. By him was slain a huge, infuriate elephant by means of a single arrow. Pierced by him, that huge beast, having its flanks adorned with an armor of gold, fell down piercing the earth with his tusks. By him have the kin been recovered and the Kauravas vanquished in battle. My ears have been deafened by the blare of his conch. It was by this hero of fierce deeds that Bhishma and Drona, along with Duryodhana, were vanquished. That achievement is his and not mine. Vaisampayana continued, hearing these words of his, the mighty king of the Matsyas, considering himself guilty of having offended Yudhishthira, said unto Uttar in reply, I think the time hath come for me to propitiate the sons of Pandu. And, if thou likest, I shall bestow my daughter Uttar upon Arjuna. Uttar said, worthy of our adorations and worship and respect, the time hath come for worshipping the illustrious sons of Pandu who deserve to be worshipped by us. Virata said, when brought under the foe's subjection in battle, it was Bhimasena that rescued me. My kin also have been recovered by Arjuna. It is through the might of their arms that we have obtained victory in battle. Such being the case, all of us with our counsellors shall propitiate Yudhishthira the son of Kunti. Blessed be thou with all thy brothers. O bull among the sons of Pandu, if, O king, we have ever said or done anything in ignorance to offend thee, it behoveth thee to forgive us. The son of Pandu is virtuous. Vaisampayana continued, then the high-souled Virata, delighted greatly, approached King Yudhishthira and made an alliance with him and offered him his whole kingdom together with the scepter and treasury and metropolis. And addressing all the Pandavas and especially Dhananjaya, the mighty king of the Matsyas, repeatedly said, by good luck it is that I see you. And having again and again embraced Yudhishthira and Bhima and the sons of Madri and smelt their heads, Virata, that owner of a large army, was not satiated with gazing at them. And being highly pleased, he said unto King Yudhishthira, by good luck it is that I see you safe from the woods. By good luck it is that ye have accomplished with difficulty the period of exile, undiscovered by those wicked wights. I make over my entire kingdom to the sons of Pritha, and what else I have. Let the sons of Pandu accept these without the slightest hesitation. And let Dhananjaya, called also Savyaschin, accept the hand of Uta, for that best of men is fit to be her lord. Thus addressed, King Yudhishthira the just cast a look upon Dhananjaya, the son of Pritha. And looked at by his brother, Arjuna said unto the Matsya king, O monarch, I accept thy daughter as my daughter-in-law. And alliance of this kind between the Matsya and the Bharatas is indeed desirable. Thus ends the 71st section in the Vaivahika Parva of the Virata Parva. Section 72, Vaivahika Parva continued. Virata said, Why, O best among the Pandavas, dost thou not wish to accept as wife this my daughter that I bestow upon thee? Arjuna said, Residing in thy inner apartments, I had occasion always to behold thy daughter, and she too, alone or in company, trusted me as her father. Well versed in singing and dancing, I was liked and regarded by her, and indeed thy daughter always regarded me as her protector. O king, I lived for 1 whole year with her, though she had attained the age of puberty. Under these circumstances, thyself or other men may not without reason entertain suspicions against her or me. Therefore, O king, myself who am pure and have my senses under control, beg to thee, O monarch, thy daughter as my daughter-in-law. Thus do I attest her purity. There is no difference between a daughter-in-law and a daughter, as also between a son and son's own self. By adopting this course, therefore, her purity will be proved. I am afraid of slanderous and false accusations. I accept therefore, O king, thy daughter Uta as my daughter-in-law. Surpassing all in knowledge of weapons, resembling a celestial youth in beauty, my son the mighty armed Abhimanyu is, the favorite nephew of Vasudeva, the wielder of the discus. He, O king, is fit to be thy son-in-law and the husband of thy daughter. Virata said, It behoveth the best of the Kurus, Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, who is so virtuous and wise, to say this. O son of Pritha, do thou carry out what thou thinkest should be done after this. He that hath Arjuna for the father of his son-in-law hath all his desires gratified. Vaisampayana continued, the monarch having said this, Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, gave his assent to what was thus agreed upon between the Matsya king and Arjuna. And O Bharata, the son of Kunti, sent invitations to Vasudeva and to all his friends and relatives, and Virata also did the same. And then after the expiry of the 13th year, the 5 Pandavas took up their abode in one of Virata's towns called Upaplavya, and Vibhatsu, the son of Pandu, brought over Abhimanyu and Janardana and also many people of the Dasara race from the Anata country. And the king of Kasi and also Saivya, being very friendly to Yudhishthira, arrived there, each accompanied by an Akshauhini of troops. And the mighty Drupada, also with the heroic sons of Draupadi and the unvanquished Sikhandi and that foremost of wielder of weapons, the invincible Drishtadhyumna, came there with another Akshauhini of troops. And all the kings that came were not only lords of Akshauhinis, but performers of sacrifices with gifts in profusion to Brahmanas, conversant with the Veds, endued with heroism, and ready to die in battle. And beholding them arrived, that foremost of virtuous men, the king of the Matsyas, adored them duly, and entertained their troops and servants and carriers of burdens. And he was highly pleased to bestow his daughter upon Abhimanyu. And after the kings had come there from different parts of the country, there came Vasudeva decked in floral garlands, and Halayuda and Kritavaman, the son of Hridika, and Yuyudhana, the son of Satyaki, and Anadristi and Akrura, and Samva and Naizata. And these repressors of foes came there, bringing with them Abhimanyu and his mother. And Indrasena and others, having lived at Dwaraka for 1 whole year, came there bringing with them the well-adorned cars of the Pandavas. And there came also 10,000 elephants and 10,000 cars and 100 millions of horses and 100 billions of foot soldiers and innumerable Vrishni and Andaka and Bhoja warriors of great energy in the train of that tiger among the Vrishnis, Vasudeva of great effulgence. And Krishna gave unto each of the illustrious sons of Pandu numerous female slaves and gems and robes. And then the nuptial festival set in between the families of the Matsya king and the Pandavas. And then conches and cymbals, and horns and drums and other musical instruments appointed by the Pandavas began to play in the palace of Virata. And deer of various kinds and clean animals by hundreds were slain. And wines of various kinds and intoxicating juices of trees were profusely collected. And mimes and bards and encomiasts, versed in singing and legendary lore, waited upon the kings and chanted their praises and genealogies. And the matrons of the Matsyas of symmetrical bodies and limbs and wearing earrings of pearls and gems, headed by Sudeshna, came to the palace where the marriage knot was to be tied. And amongst those beautiful females of fair complexion and excellent ornaments, Krishna was the foremost in beauty and fame and splendor. And they all came there, leading forth the princess Uta decked in every ornament and resembling the daughter of the great Indra himself. And then Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, accepted Virata's daughter of faultless limbs on behalf of his son by Subhadra. And that great king Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, who stood there like Indra, also accepted her as his daughter-in-law. And having accepted her, the son of Pritha with Janardana before him, caused the nuptial ceremonies to be performed of the illustrious son of Subhadra. And Virata then gave him as dowry 7,000 steeds endued with the speed of the wind and 200 elephants of the best kind and much wealth also. And having duly poured libations of clarified butter on the blazing fire and paid homage unto the twice-born ones, Virata offered to the Pandavas his kingdom, army, treasury and his own self. And after the marriage had taken place, Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, gave away unto the Brahmanas all the wealth that had been brought by Krishna of unfading glory. And he also gave away thousands of kin and divers kinds of robes and various excellent ornaments and vehicles, and beds, delicious viands of various kinds and cardinal drinks of divers species. And the king also made gifts of land unto the Brahmanas with due rights and also cattle by thousands. And he also gave away thousands of steeds and much gold and much wealth of other kinds unto persons of all ages. And O bull of the Bharata race, the city of the Matsya king, thronged with men cheerful and well-fed, shone brightly like a great festival. Thus ends the 72nd section in the Vaivahika Parva of the Virata Parva. Thus ends the Virata Parva of the Mahabharata of Krishna-Dwaipayana Vyasa. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like and subscribe to be notified of when new audiobooks are uploaded. Thank you for listening and learning. Shanti.